Hi guys, Rob here, and this is part 2 of my Mount Dandenong videos. This one is the top things to do on the mountain. One of the best times to come is during autumn when you get these amazing colours in the leaves. Basically I'll start from the base of Mount Dandenong and work my way up the mountain. I'll show you on the map each place so you can get a geographic perspective to it all. There's so much to see and do here, so these are pretty much the main things you'll want to consider. Obviously I can't include everything, but this list will give you a great start to enjoying the best of Mount Dandenong and to an extent the Dandenong Ranges as well. For a couple of great B&Bs to stay at, have a look at my previous video. I'll try and put a link somewhere in the video. If you look at Melbourne CBD, Mount Dandenong is located to the east of the city, around an hour's drive away. So it makes for an easy day trip if you wish as well. Located at the foot of Mount Dandenong is one of Melbourne's most popular attractions, Puff and Billy. One of the most iconic things to do up here is behind me is the Puff and Billy steam train. The locomotives date back to the early 1900s and you can get a real feel of the early days. It starts from Belgrade Station and the ride takes you through the beautiful Dandenong Ranges. I remember coming here as a kid and having fond memories, and it hasn't changed much since then. There's plenty of opportunities for photos, particularly at the iconic Trestle Bridge. The sides of the carriages are open so you can get some fantastic views. Used to be able to sit on the ledge of the carriages, but this has been banned since the train had a crash with a minibus back in 2018. I took the train just to Lakeside Station. Located here is a little cafe at the station. Also located here is one of the world's largest working model railways. So if you're a train enthusiast, you may want to check that out. As the station name suggests, it's set on this really pretty lake and gardens area. There's some water activities as well as barbecues here. I stayed for about an hour and caught the next train going back to Belgrade Station. But there are a number of trains that you can catch going back, which I'll show in a moment. Make sure to pick up one of the visitor guides at the station. On Puff and Billy's website, there's plenty of information you need to know to plan your trip, as well as special events, how to get there, prices, as well as booking tickets online. They do recommend booking prior to arrival to avoid any issues such as being booked out, as sometimes they have group bookings such as schools, which book out the carriages. You can also book tickets online via third-party companies such as Expedia. They generally include transfers from your hotel and transport via coach to the station, and some of them included a Devonshire tea. If you want to do it yourself, catch a train from Flinders Street Station, you'll need to catch the Belgrade line. I caught the 8:30 AM train from Flinders Street Station. It left on time, so I had plenty of time to catch the first Puff and Billy train, which leaves at 10:30. Puff and Billy is just a short walk away from the metro station. I booked online, so I just needed to pick up the ticket at the station.
Right, now you've got most of the brochures. There's only one more I have to give you. That's just a bit of safety information if you'd have a look at that.
Okay.
Now the timetables in this one, it's the yellow times we're using today, and you can come back on any train you like this afternoon.
The yellow, now these ones?
Yeah, would you like me to run through the options?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here at Belgrade, leave at 10:30, you're going to Lakeside, that takes an hour, you'll arrive at 11:30. Now coming back from Lakeside, you've got a choice of 4 trains. The first one leaves Lakeside to come back at 12:30, but there's later ones 2:25, 3:40, or the last one at 4:15.
Okay.
And they'll get you back here at Belgrade at those times respectively. So the earliest you can be back here is 1:30, but you can be later if you want to.
Yeah, okay. Alright.
And that's your actual travel ticket.
Puff and Billy makes for a great family outing. A fantastic day trip from Melbourne. Right next door to Puff and Billy is Trees Adventure. For a bit of adrenaline. If you're not scared of heights, try this adventure park. There's zip lining and obstacles all up in the treetops. The friendly staff will help you set up the harnesses and give you a quick rundown of safety processes, as well as how the park works. There's a number of colour-coded courses with different difficulty levels. They range from about 2 metres all the way up to about 15 metres in height, from ages from 4 and up. So there's something nearly for everybody. After the initial rundown, it's basically up to yourself to run through the course. It goes for just over 2 hours. You can do it at your own pace and do as little or as much as you want in the 2 hours or so that you've got. treetop adventures.
So the tree you see behind me is where the course starts,
the main tree.
and then it radiates out from there. It's colour coded, so you can follow the level of difficulty course you want to take. I went quite early, so it wasn't very busy, but I can imagine that you'd get slowed down if there were slower people in front of you and you'd have to wait. They have 7 long courses, 2 short courses, 6 vertical challenges, 23 flying foxes, with the longest being at 120 metres. Even on the easy level, you will need a level of fitness, and it can be quite challenging for the harder levels. It's a lot of fun for all ages. I found the clicking on and off of the cables from the harnesses does get a bit tedious after a while, but it is there for your safety. And if you're a wuss, you can just sit out and watch. This can be booked online at their website. They have a number of parks throughout Australia. You can check out prices, conditions and other information all on their website. The Kokoda Track Memorial Walk is a popular attraction at Mount Dandenong. You can learn about the history of Australian soldiers and Papua New Guineans in this infamous part of Australian World War II history. There's lots of memorial markers set up so you can learn more about the campaign. There's a number of trails that you can take. I took the Kokoda trail up and back on the Lyrebird track. Round trip will take you around 1.5 to 2 hours. You will need at least a moderate level of fitness, good shoes and some water. It's a lovely scenic walk, lots of greenery, but going up all the steps it can be quite strenuous. You can stop for rest and read the plaques along the way. But you'll be glad when you reach the top.
And if you're exhausted, come down this track, it's a lot easier. Whew.
Going back down, I took the little bit less strenuous Lyrebird track. Just a note, on weekends and public holidays, it can get quite busy up here, as you can see on the video, with the cars parked not only in the car park, but on the sides of the roads. One of the most picturesque gardens of the Dandenong Ranges is the Alfred Nicholas Memorial Gardens. It has some of the most gorgeous water features. The gardens are beautiful to visit any time of year, but in the autumn, it just looks stunning with all its colours. As you can see, the greens turn to these vibrant reds in some areas. Have a look at my other video on the autumn leaves in Melbourne to see more. Walk down to the lake for some beautiful scenery. Just a lovely spot to relax by. Take a stroll or sit by the lake, listen to the sounds of the water and the birds. Just get some peace and serenity. A lovely day trip from Melbourne. And with all the autumn leaf colours, it just looks magical. Perfect for photo taking. Just past these gardens is the George Tindale Memorial Gardens. Another lovely spot to visit in Mount Dandenong.
The best times to come around here is during the autumn. You get all these wonderful colours from the autumn leaves.
Not quite as spectacular or as impressive as Alfred Nicholas. Again, when I was making this video, it was during the autumn time. It's just nice here to take a stroll around the gardens and enjoy nature. Grant's Picnic Ground. This is really popular with the tourists, particularly the day trippers from Melbourne, as it's a nice place to have a barbecue. There's a cafe and souvenir shop. One of the big attractions here is to be able to feed the wild birds. You purchase some of the seed and then you're able to feed the birds in this enclosure. Popular for taking photos and selfies. Keep in mind, from February 2020, they're going to stop allowing people to feed the birds. Around the Dandenongs you can see many bird species as shown. Just as a note of interest, while I was filming this video, I got to see many types of different birds around the Dandenong Ranges. So if you plan to stay, it's pretty common to see lots of these birds around. Obviously a lot of them have had contact with people, so they're very friendly and tame. You can see my other video for more details on this. Back to Grant's Picnic Ground, there's also some walking trails around here, from an easy 300 metre walk
enjoy Australia's nature at its best, just go for a walk on one of the tracks. This one's the Margaret Lester Trail. This is one of the easiest trails. It's about 30 minutes. This one is the Hard Gully Nature Walk. Heading into the town of Sassafras, I wanted to try out one of the most popular Devonshire tea places in the Dandenongs, Miss Marples Tea Room. I got here quite late in the afternoon, so I missed the busiest time of day. I have read stories of people having to wait half an hour or more to get in. The restaurant is set up in a theme of Agatha Christie's famed character, Miss Marple, and there's all the characters' memorabilia on the walls. I only tried the scones, which I found were a bit underwhelming. It was more of a cake than a traditional scone that I'm used to. And being touristy, it was pricey. Overall, I found this place was a bit of a tourist trap. Nice for some selfies or photographs, but that's about it. After here, have a stroll around Sassafras. There's quite a number of quaint little shops here. Heading further up the mountain is probably the most famous of all restaurants here, the Cuckoo Restaurant. It's been around for ages.
Trays just on that side of this big table in the middle. Salads, hot foods and desserts.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Again, I remember coming here as a kid and I still have some good memories of that. So what you get here is a German style buffet. The food was okay, nothing spectacular. There was a good choice of dishes to choose from, and it's a very popular place for tourists to come. While you eat, you can be entertained with music and yodeling. Crowd participation is encouraged. It has this fun, lively atmosphere, good for the whole family. It's a bit touristy, but in a good way. Have a look around the restaurant at the cuckoo clocks and the German memorabilia. It can get quite busy, so they do recommend booking prior to coming. Have a look at their website for more details and prices. For tasty meat pies in the Dandenongs, Ple In the Sky has one of the best reputations around. I just stopped by for a quick bite and the pie I had was pretty good. I mean, it's just a pie, not fine dining, but I think it would satisfy connoisseurs of meat pies. Just a bit further on from here is the Dandenong Ranges Botanic Gardens, a beautiful spot to visit, covering some 103 acres. There's picnic tables, chairs, walking paths to enjoy these wonderful gardens. Come here any time of year and enjoy the changing seasons. I came here a number of times from early autumn to late autumn, so you can see the change in the colours. There's some really gorgeous autumn plumage here. Another must-see gardens is the Cloudehill Gardens and Nursery.
You go down, these are your perennial borders along here. There's two beautiful Japanese maples, make sure you have a look at those. There's up the steps to the left, that will take you through to the kitchen garden, succulent collection in the glass house. Now there are more steps in this section. There's a copper beech walk through the wild meadow and lots of artwork everywhere throughout the whole of the garden.
The gardens are amazing. As you walk through, lots of sculptures, water features and just lots of colour. I took my mum and she loved the gardens. I'm here at the beginning of autumn, not quite got the colours. So I've come back here so you can see all the... I made another visit later in autumn so you can see the change in the colours as well. It's a really well tended garden and it really shows. Take your time around here and enjoy the beauty. These gardens are highly recommended. They also have their Seasons restaurant. I just popped in for a coffee and cake. It was really nice. They also have a nursery here and things to buy for your garden.
Have a look at their website if you want to learn more. The Tesselaar Tulip Farm. This is famous for the annual Tulip Festival in the spring, but they also have the Kabloom Festival in autumn. The farm looks stunning with all the rows of flowers, perfect for taking photos or selfies for your Instagram account. Luckily I got a really good day when I went, so with all the bright sunshine, the colours of the flowers look really vivid. Not only do they have tulips at festival here, they have one in autumn as well. Magnificent colours. The festival was very popular and there was lots of people here. Lots of families here too. I filmed this in autumn, so I wasn't able to get the video of the Spring Tulip Festival. There was lots of food stalls set up with lots of variety. For kids there was trailer rides, so if you want to come to a wonderful flower show, and if you're in Melbourne in autumn, check out this one. Have a look at their website for more details, which I showed at the beginning of this clip. A lovely waterfall to visit here is Olinda Falls, only about 300 metres walk from the car park. There are two levels to go to, one's a bit easier than the other. The easy one takes you to a viewing platform. I came here after a dry summer, so the level of water wasn't very high. Obviously with some good rainfall, it would have looked a bit better. The trail to the lower falls is a little bit more difficult, but it's only a short walk still. There's also a viewing platform here as well. As you can see, the waterfall wasn't strong due to the lack of rainfall, but still pretty to look at, and it's just real serene here. William Ricketts Sanctuary is a quiet, relaxing place. There are 92 clay sculptures of Aborigines here, set around these lush gardens. Visit the cottage to watch a short video on the artist, or visit the studio to see how he worked. Just a lovely place to visit. Heading to the top of Mount Dandenong, I wanted to show you two places with fantastic views. One you pay for and one is free. The first, SkyHigh. There's some outdoor tables and chairs set up. When I came, there was a couple of opportunistic kookaburras looking for some handouts. They have some small gardens and maze here, but nothing really to write home about. I tried out the bistro here. The food here was alright with some lovely views. Of course, most come up here to see the amazing views from Mount Dandenong. It was a bit hazy the time I came, but I was still able to get some nice views, particularly the colours at sunset. The second lookout is Burkes Lookout, which is free. The best way to get there I found, which had an easy path to follow, was the one here where they have the historic marker. Stop at the car park. Just to the right they have a plaque to remember where a DC-2 aeroplane crashed in 1938, killing all 18 people on board. It was caused by pilot error in heavy fog. To the left is the trail that you need to take to get to Burkes Lookout. There's no signage, so I use Google Maps myself, although Google Maps was a little out. When you see the clearing, you're there. Again, the day I went, it was a bit hazy. You can just make out Melbourne's skyline when I zoomed in closer. I stayed to watch the sunset here. Make sure to bring a torch if you plan to do this, as you'll need that to get back to the car park. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my other video on some B&Bs to stay at on Mount Dandenong. For more videos, please subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.